This video is going to be about a subject that I like to talk about in, person-to-person kind of communication. Usually gets brought up one way or another in conversation with people. The global corporate empire. So what is the global corporate empire? Some people call it the New World Order, some people call it the Illuminati, or they may think that what the global corporate empire is could be named those things, like the Illuminati and whatever. But to me, the global corporate empire is just that, a empire created by the collective works of these industries, these corporate models. The corporation itself is, by definition, if you've never watched the documentary The Corporation, it's a psychopath. The corporation is, to a T, the psychopath. In any diagnostic manual, you will discover that really the character of a corporation is a psychopath. And so the world that has been manifest around us is essentially in the image of that superorganism, the corporation. And so we have the psychopathy of television. It's a psychopath's world, really. That is a thing that is becoming on the rise, apparently. Maybe it's because of the media overcovering it, but this doesn't matter. What matters is that there is a global corporate empire, and it is far more powerful and vast than that of Britain and King George during the revolutionary years of 1776. And it represents a more powerful sovereignty than in those times, because of the immunity that these corporations share for legal and other means of management. They can't be controlled, and they have no body to incarcerate and no soul to save. So they are immune to any form of regulation. They cannot be. They are essentially immortal. CocaCola has been around for about 200 years, and yet it is no indication of that corporation's legitimacy. It's not a government. And so what's happened is governments have bore from their loins a child, and that child is the corporation. And the corporation has risen to a kind of height where any corporation that is big enough can actually influence the systems of government, and also become the arbiter, the administrator of government itself, and can become immune to any of the governments that it is partaking in, or existing in. It can completely transcend its laws and do what it wants, really. And so these corporations, these superorganisms, are essentially a kind of predatory animal, an animal that seeks out the prey, which are the weakest among us, the least intelligent, the least affluent, whatever, and it seeks them out, and its way of consuming them is through advertising, propaganda, and ultimately their compliance with this consumption engine that they've created. And that's the craziest part about our world today. We think that we're consumers. We think that we're the ones going out and buying the stuff, and that's how life works. In reality, we are the ones being consumed. We are the consumed, not those toys out there. We are the ones being consumed. And it is because of this that we have holes, vast voids in our hearts where happiness and love and community used to be. We have to replace or find some way to ignore that pain, that suffering. And so we resort to pharmaceutical drugs, and the like. And this is our world. This is the tragedy of the 21st century, and it is something which can only be overthrown. And it is something that has to be overthrown. Don't be confused about it. It's something that is not in your best interest. It is a kind of tyranny, and it has resulted in fascism in this country, in the United States, and will result in like fascism everywhere else in the modern world. We have got to come together to unify in recognition of our inherent rights and in recognition of our inherent humanity and sovereignty innately as human beings. With that, I bid you a beautiful wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and love and gratitude. Love and gratitude.